Thank you all for coming this afternoon. Running a little bit behind, so I apologize. We've missed some time this week with the rain. Not as much as we thought, but we've missed a little bit of time. So appreciate y'all bearing with us. Good work today. This is our first. We called it Move-In Day, and not only is it Move-In on Campus Day, it's Move-In Day with our depth chart, and guys are claiming some time. And I thought some guys definitely made some moves in all three phases, but worked a lot of situational pieces of the game this afternoon as well. And through 13 practices, I'm pleased. We've had a good attitude. Our effort's been what it needs to be. We're making strides. I'm glad we don't play for 3 weeks. Let me say that. I'm glad they'll give us 3 more weeks to get ready, because as you watch today, we've got some areas got to shore up. But this team is maturing, and I think we've added some pieces, some junior colleges, some high school pieces that are going to help us as we move into the fall. So with that, I'll open it up to questions. Not all at once. Well, the first half of the scrimmage, I wasn't real fired up. I don't think Coach Moore was either. It comes down to the communication up front. We weren't all on the same page. We've got to develop some leadership. We got some older guys up there. Like to see them take the really vocally. They do things the right way on and off the field. They're doing things. I'd like for them to take the next step vocally and really push the younger guys. Some of the new pieces that we have on that starting offensive line. Thought they did better during the second half of the scrimmage, and I think that's why you saw the offense move the ball after that break. It's because up front we played better. We're gonna go as far as they take us, and they played better down the stretch last year. That's why we played better offensively down the stretch. So, center's a question mark. Deontay Crummeny's playing in there, and it's a new position for him, and he's learning. I think he's getting better. He's definitely athletic enough to play that position. And then Stephen Rousey has been in the mix there at left guard, who just got here this summer. Big guy's kind of trying to play his way into shape. Garcia is the guy that's been steady through camp. Not sure how he played today, but he's been steady. And then Xavier Fields is much improved. And then Tyler Lassiter. Some new guys that are, I think, making their moves are J.L. Gaston, true freshman. He'll definitely play. He'll definitely be in the mix. If not starting, pushing to be in that top 6 or 7. So Tristan Crowder, another true freshman, is a guy that's athletic enough. He's strong. I'm pleased where he's at. And Dylan Bradshaw's got a lot of reps here early in camp as well.
What was your assessment of the special teams today? I know you wanted to see some pieces move.
Well, it's kind of the good and the bad. On the good side, what I was really frustrated with the other day, last time you and I talked, Jeremy, was about our kickoff. And I thought Bratcher did a nice job. Bratcher and Tyler both did a nice job. Both the kickoffs, when we were doing kickoff unit, went into the end zone. Thought we covered those kicks well. Flip side of that, I think we got some work to do on our kickoff return unit. I think we got some pieces in the return game. We've got to do a better job getting on blocks and maintaining blocks, and that's really hard to do. This is really the first time we've gone full live in that situation. So we'll at least do it 2 to 3 more times. So hopefully we'll improve as we go. Our punt team, we did a good job in that coming off situation. We were on the -1 for a couple of those punts. So I thought Ryan did a nice job getting it out. Schematically, I like what we're doing. Field goal wise, we got to shore that up. Our protection's been fine. Ryan's got to make that kick. He pushed one today. He's got to make.
Coach, the run game out there today. Where did Jameer Fry come from? He really impressed out there today.
Yeah, well, and I'll say this about Jameer. He's fast, and that's the thing from recruiting. From signing day on, we talked about his speed, and without question, he's not very big, but he is fast. He's a guy that'll add a different dimension to us, not only on offense running the football, but he can catch the ball out of the backfield. We'll line him up and empty some, and then we'll use him in the kickoff return game. And I think he hit 2 50-plus yard plays today. We've got to be creative, until he gets stronger. We've got to be creative on how we're using him. But we're excited about him. I thought he was a sleeper in our signing class. Not a whole lot of people were talking about him. But he went to Escambia High School in Pensacola, and his rushing stats were really impressive. If you look at his high school track times, he was 10.5, 10.6 in the 100 meters. So not surprised at all. I think maybe some of our fans will be surprised, especially after they see him, because when you see him, he's not necessarily what a prototypical football player looks like, but he can run, and he has courage.
You got to address the depth you guys have at wide receiver.
Well, we took a hit when Emmanuel's been out. I feel good. It's going to be a little longer than I initially thought, but I still feel good about him playing early in the season. So, Ishmael Salim has made a huge jump. One of our most improved guys in camp. Thought it really showed a lot of maturity today. Dropped a pass. The very next play makes a difficult catch over the middle on a post ball. So that shows, because maybe in the past, maybe his confidence would have been hit a little bit. But right next, we went back to him, and he made a really big catch. Dominic Walker, a junior college transfer, took him a while to get going in the spring. We need him to come on. He's done that. John Johnson's been solid. Still looking for, another guy there. Hiram Velez has shown flashes, had a couple good catches today. Darius Wesley is a guy that early in camp showed that he could do it. And Trey Eford is another true freshman. We need one of those three to step up and be in that top four to play. Inside-wise, DeAndre Douglas has probably been our most productive receiver in camp so far. And then Tavares McCormick, we didn't utilize him as much today. He went down. He's fine. I think it scared him more than anything. But I like him. And then Sidney Davis. So it was really impressive, the catch and run he had today. He's a strong kid, stocky. He really got hit by two people, and he stayed on his feet and took it in for a touchdown. So he's a guy that we signed late that we're counting on. So that was a big plus to see that today.
How about Sam Letton?
Yeah, Sam Letton. I'm glad you said that, Jeremy, because maybe the two things that stick out to me offensively, and I'll talk defense here in a second too. The two things that stick out to me offensively about that scrimmage today were Sam Letton and Javier Fry. Both of them are ready. Both of those guys are going to be in the mix a lot. I think Sam Letton, he had a crucial third and 12 catch. He took it down inside the 5 there in the overtime period we finished up with. He shows up and makes plays every time we go in a live situation. And then Javier Fry, like we've already talked about, those two kids showed that they're in the mix. They're going to play. Defensively, I thought we did a nice job getting pressure. Junior showed up today. His length, he affects a lot of balls. Does a nice job playing the run, also in setting the edge. Caleb Barker. Yeah, Caleb can run. If you look what he did in high school, really impressive. He took a Priceville high school team that's, that year in and year out is not necessarily a power, and he goes and finishes right in the top for the Mr. Football Award and takes them to one of the best records in school history. Coming off a torn ACL as a junior, and he's just now. These last 2 weeks is the first time he's played without his brace, and he can run. He's a really good athlete. He's competing to be that backup or that third quarterback, and been a pleasant surprise that he's caught on and made plays with his feet and his arm this early in camp.
Have either one of the tailbacks looked like they kind of step in that workhorse role like Brandon Burns did?
Well, I think we've got two kids that are two guys that are really good players. Andre Flake's coming off shoulder surgery. He showed what he could do at times last year. Probably had his best game against App State, which was the best defense in our league last year. Jordan Chun, if you look what he did as a freshman with the touchdown, he's changed his body. You're going to notice a trimmer Jordan Chun when he comes up and talks to you guys. He can carry the load, and he's done a nice job. He probably had a little better scrimmage on Wednesday when we went a few plays than he did today, and that was about opportunities, not necessarily about the way he played. Josh Anderson's a good mix up there too. Talking about a kid that's 255 that runs the ball, and that's 255 probably being friendly to him.
Coach, back to the receivers for a second. How big of an X factor can they be for this team with the depth that you guys have?
Well, we do. We've got a lot of numbers, Now, not a whole lot of them make plays at games in Troy, so we better be easy before we talk about our depth. They've got those guys got to go out and produce. Now we've got depth on as far as numbers. Don't have a lot of experience. And if you look at the group that we're going to put out there, the two deep across the board, other than John Johnson, not a whole lot of catches. If you look at if we were to line up tomorrow, and went out there for the first time, you're probably looking at Ishmael Salim, a true sophomore. I'm not sure. He caught some balls last year, not a whole lot. Tavares McCormick at H. He's a junior college transfer, no catches at Troy. DeAndre Douglas had a few last year as a true freshman. And then John Johnson. And John Johnson's had more probably combined than the whole rest of them. So the guys behind them can play. We're definitely more talented than we were last year, but a lot of unprovens. So I think we've got to be careful what we do early in the year. We don't try to put too much on them. But I will say this. They have ability. They're not scared, and they want the ball. So and they all have done a pretty good job blocking as well. You won't play here unless you block.
So there used to be the next breakout star after another incredible interception this week today.
Yeah, Rookard he had an impressive freshman year. I mean, played well against Mississippi State. You know, if you look at what he did against one of the best offenses in the country last year, I thought he came downhill and really showed that he belonged. He's a guy that I think can be one of the better safeties in our league, without question. He's got good ball skills, but he's big, strong. He runs well. He's more fluid than he looks. We're counting on him. You know, I feel good about our first two safeties, and Vic can talk more in depth about those guys. But Rookard and Weatherspoon, I feel good about those guys. You know, they've been solid. They know the responsibilities. They're good tacklers in space. You know, we've got to develop some depth. Robert Johnson's a guy. Melvin had to miss a scrimmage today. He'll be back soon. But Robert Johnson's grown in that role. But we need some more guys to step up at that spot. Mm-hmm. Well, he brings a toughness. Is what I appreciate probably the most about him. He's got a toughness about him. Smart football, loves to play, competes hard. And I think it's easy. And I think Coach Moore and I always got to remind ourselves he's never played center before, really. You know, so you start playing with your head between your legs, it's a little different. And so he's learning that position and snapping and all the things, making the calls, and that's tough for a true freshman. And he's getting better every day. He's a kid that's going to play a lot of football here and be a really good player.
Coach Jalen Jones,
Mm-hmm.
quarterback. He doesn't make the top three. Is there any thought of maybe moving him to a wide receiver?
Well, we really hadn't thought about it. Mike, he just came. Not fair to him, really, because he just got here. He got here on the first day of practice, so he's quite a bit further behind the others as far as. Yeah, he's a good athlete, no, without a doubt. He had a great run on Wednesday in a full tackle scenario. Great kid. He's learning. We're trying to spoon feed him. We're trying to get ready to play and put in our whole menu of plays. We're trying to spoon feed him certain plays. I think we're still trying to evaluate what he can do as a quarterback. You know, there's times he's not as consistent throwing the ball as we'd like right now. Not sure if that's because of talent or if that's because he just doesn't know what to do. So we're gonna take a hard look at him over the next 2 weeks.
Talk about the two guys that running back in Flakes and Sean. Where do you see B.J. Smith being
I thought he had a solid day today too. BJ's solid. He catches the ball well. He's caught on. I'm as excited, probably more excited about him right now than I was when we signed him. He's going to be a workhorse here. You know, where he's going to fit this year, I think the next probably week to 10 days will really tell. You know, he came out of the chute fast, made some plays early in camp. A lot of these freshmen, it happens the same thing. It wears on them. It's hard. You know, it's hard. The competition's higher than what they've ever gone against, so they get a little worn down. We'll give them a little bit of rest here, and then hopefully their bodies start coming back, refresh their minds. So I think over the next week to 10 days, you know, we'll see if he's going to be in the mix this year or have to redshirt.
What else?
Coach, now that Demarius Anderson's officially part of this team, what do you say about the type of player he is?
Well, I can talk to you about the type of player he was in high school. You know, I think it's to be determined here. You know, he's practiced with us a little bit. He's got to sit out the season, so we haven't given him a whole lot of work. So I know in high school, obviously the couple things that really stick out to you, really productive. You know, had one of the best senior years that any running back in Alabama State history has had. He's versatile, physical guy. He's really confident, catches the ball in the backfield. He's gonna be a guy that'll be a special player here. But as far as we haven't asked him to do much here. We're excited that he's here. And you know, this will be a good learning experience for him. He's going to sit out. He's going to get stronger, be able to get ahead in his schoolwork.
What's the status right now on Manuel? I know we talked 2 weeks ago. He was dead. What's his status?
He's recovering. You know, he's recovering. He was out there today. You can see him moving around pretty good. I'm hopeful he'll be back early in the season. Whether he's going to miss any games or not sure yet. I don't think it's going to be a deal where he's going to miss a whole lot of time.